codes verified. Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
Fly it, print it, display it. Break the mold and 3D print a one-of-a-kind starship. Your starship. With mixed dimensions. Right now, Priority 1 listeners can save 20% on all ships and sizes. Just use coupon code PRIORITY20. That's PRIORITY20 at checkout. Build your fleet and display it proudly. Fly it, print it, display it. Break the mold and 3D print a one-of-a-kind starship. Your starship. With mixed dimensions. Right now, Priority 1 listeners can save 20% on all ships and sizes. Just use coupon code PRIORITY20. That's PRIORITY20 at checkout. Build your fleet and display it proudly. Hello, Captains, and welcome to the live recording of episode 421 of Priority 1, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. We are so very grateful that you are all in the chat right now, watching us live. Thank you so very much for joining us on this Tuesday evening during our new time at 8 p.m. So far, it's been going well, right? Doing it at 8 o'clock. It's been much easier for us here on the East Coast, and we've been able to go to bed at a reasonable hour, which is fantastic. Joining me this week is Admiral Kat of the Priority 1 Armada.
Hello.
And back in a triumphant return is none other than Anthony Cox. Say hello, Anthony.
Hello, Anthony.
Well, look at that. Look at the little itty-bitty baby in his arms. Tell us about the little baby.
This is where I've been the last few weeks. Is my wife and I had a baby girl, and this is her. This is Delilah Catherine Ray. And there not only is there a Star Wars reference, but there is a Star Trek reference in her name, if you can figure that out.
Oh, yeah, it's DC Fontana. Oh,
okay.
Did I ruin it? Whoops.
Yeah, let's not make it a thing for people to guess and have fun.
I can't believe you just did that.
It's fine.
Because all I can think about right now is that scene in Family Guy where Peter puts Stewie to breastfeed him. And Stewie is so shocked. Like, it's that's the kind of father I pictured you as. Is a little bit of a Peter Griffin.
Thanks.
A little bit.
Thanks.
Look at those little eyes blink. Like
Yeah.
a little,
Oh, she's
like a little
great.
robot baby.
She's.
She just.
Are you accusing me of having a robot baby?
Yes, you have now ushered in the cyborg race. Way to go.
Well, I wish she
Very
was.
cute.
I wish she was a robot because then I could program her to sleep through the night.
Look at how blinky she is. So blinky.
Yeah, she's awake. She's a newborn, so she's awake maybe like, I don't know. She's awake for like maybe 20 minutes at a time for 2 or 3 times a day. Other than that, she's sleeping and eating and pooping. So,
Well,
Right.
everybody in the chat is wishing you a congratulations. William Hardy, Jason Smith, Christopher Batts, I know who. I keep forgetting who Chuchulian is. I think that's
I thought it was
Shane.
Cucullin.
Cucullin. Oh, Cucullin. I always forget who Cucullin is. I'm pretty sure it's one of our guys. Right? Isn't Cucullin one of
Oh,
ours?
I don't know. Shane?
Isn't it Shane? I'm pretty sure it's Shane.
Well, anyway, he's
I gotta find her mother.
an Armada member, so holla.
Holla at the Armada. So welcome back, Anthony. We did what we could.
Welcome.
We did what we could without you, which was.
Oh no, you guys did
which
great
was-
without me.
That's
I don't know
right,
why I'm still here.
I was gonna say which were better shows. I'm kidding.
Yes.
You were missed.
Well-
You were missed.
I'm pretty sure I was the first one to say that. So, where's your mother? Your mother's supposed to be here to take you. I don't know where she went.
It's so
Honey?
blinky.
Having a moment of peace. God.
Yeah,
do
yeah.
babies-
No, probably trying to tuck in the other 2 little monsters. I mean, the other 2 children that we have.
Why? Wait, hold on. Why is she so blinky? Is she blink every time she swallows? Like, is it like as she's drinking? Like,
I think
like,
she's
is
It's
that-
'cause
falling
she's
back asleep.
It's because she's a brand new human being and she doesn't know how to control any parts of her body.
You see, this is why I can never have children. I have no idea what any
You
of this
have
stuff.
no idea. Because she sneezed before we went live, and I mentioned that babies don't breathe through their mouths. That's the thing. They don't breathe through their mouths. They only breathe through their nose. And so when they sneeze, that's them clearing their throat. So
Well, congratulations
Baby
on
Dax.
bringing in a new human life form into this world. You, sir, are a stronger man than I.
I mean, yeah, but not because I had a baby, just because.
No, that's pretty much the only measure we have right now.
Really? Okay. All right, honey, I'm ready. I'm ready for you to take her.
What kind of bottle is that? Is that like in a mason jar? What is
It's
that?
the mason jar. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Why did the baby burn her lip? Because she drank out of a mason jar before it was cool. Oh no, it's why did the hipster baby? Why did the
I was
hipster
like,
baby burn her lip? It's 'cause she drank out of a mason jar before it was cool.
Guess what? That joke was a crash and burn.
Yes.
Yeah.
We decided to use glass mason jars for her because plastic's bad. So.
Hmm.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You know, you make that joke, but nurses in the newborn ward, the baby ward.
What?
I don't know.
Neonatal unit?
Neonate. Sure, that one.
The
That
what?
one. The nurses in the delivery room are really like they just shake babies around. They're like it's like rah baby.
Yeah, when
we're
they
gonna flip around."
when I first saw a nurse change my son for the first time, and how like she just like pick him up and throw him under and throw him down and do the thing, I was just like, what is going on? How can you treat a baby like that?
Wow.
And they're like,
Everybody
oh,
again.
it's fine.
It turns out that because their bones aren't really like fully formed, they're pretty rubbery and resilient. So
Okay.
you can toss them around, you can roll them around, you can throw them from place to place. They're fine.
Maybe not. All right, let's do a show, shall we?
I don't know if I remember how to do a show.
Oh, well then. You'll just have to learn the hard way. I'm going to record locally here. Okay. All right. Everybody ready?
Yes.
All right. I am going to hit the big red button for intro in 3, 2, 1. This is Elijah, intro sync 1.
This is Kat, intro sync 2.
This is Anthony, intro sync 3.
Intro in 3, 2. Hello, Captains. You're listening to episode 421 of Priority 1, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. Your weekly report from the Star Trek multiverse. Recorded live on Tuesday, July 9th, 2019, and available for download or streaming on Friday, July 12th. I don't know why I said July. Recorded live on Tuesday, July 29th, 2019, and available for download or streaming on Friday, July 12th at PriorityOnePodcast.com. I'm Elijah.
And I'm Kat.
And
I'm... Oh, I see. Go ahead.
Oh.
And this week, we welcome back Anthony. Anthony, welcome back, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
So for those that may not be aware, where have you been?
So my wife and I, more so my wife than I, had a baby girl. We had a new member of our family join us. Her name is Delilah Catherine Ray.
I have to be right back.
And there's a little bit of a Star Wars reference in there, but there's also a Star Trek reference in there. If you can guess what it is, Elijah, I think you know what it is.
I do. But you know what? We'll let our listeners try to figure it out. Tell us her name again.
Her name is Delilah Catherine Ray Cox.
All right. Well, then it's up to you, captains, to figure out what the references are. But it is good to have you back. We did miss you over the last 2 weeks, and we are glad that you had a beautiful, healthy, young baby girl. Well, obviously she's young because she's a newborn. Let me deliver that again. Well, Anthony, it's good to have you back because... Shit. Well, Anthony, it's good to have you back, and we are so very glad that you had a beautiful, healthy baby girl. Congratulations to you and your wife and your entire family.
Thank you.
I would ask Kat what we have coming up this week, but she is currently taking care of the pups. So we're going to have to banter here a little bit. And Anthony's video went crazy. We lost his video. So now I'm doing the show by myself. Oh, there we go.
What happened to my video?
You can hear Anthony, but...
Yeah, no, this is hang on. I gotta do the old USB. I gotta convert the I don't know.
Come on, make a Star Trek reference, man.
I'm trying.
You gotta invert. You gotta reverse.
Reroute the auxiliary power grid through
there
the
we
main
go.
dish.
I was gonna say reverse the polarity of the.
Reverse the polarity at the EPS junction. To do we get it? Is it here? Oh, here I am. I'm here.
Sorry.
Oh, so
no worries.
Dog drama.
Dog drama. That's funny. All right, Kat. Why don't you tell us what we've? All right, Kat. Why don't you tell us what we've got coming up this week? Oh, never mind.
Oh, please. Okay. Oh my God. Sorry. They're gonna go in timeout. This week, we're checking out Gersha Phillips' design choices and her redesign necessities from the Paley Center. Hold, please.
This is why I have kids and not cats or dogs.
Well, cats aren't necessarily. I mean, cats are all right.
I used to be a cat person, not so much anymore.
I've always been a cat person. I love cat. And now Purina has discovered through the scientific method that a cat with a high... So the egg powder... I've never even heard of this. This thing called egg powder, when mixed into the diet of cats, will negate and nullify the protein in their saliva that actually makes people allergic to cats. So that you can now potentially own a cat if you start feeding your cat this diet of, regular cat food with some kind of egg powder. The egg powder just cancels out the protein, that specific protein in their saliva. Crazy, huh?
That is crazy. Are you allergic to cats?
I am not, but my girlfriend is, and I'm so sad because I want a kitty cat.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you just got to get some egg powder.
Now
Right?
I know. Now I know. I got to keep an eye on this Purina research stuff because, and it's not harmful to cats in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't affect them in any way, shape. You're just adding something to their diet, and it nullifies. It doesn't kill the protein. It just nullifies it. It negates it, so it doesn't have the binding effect.
Who's editing intro, by the way?
I don't know, and I feel bad for whomever it is.
Because we need to apologize to them.
I have a feeling. You know
Sorry.
what if we just take it from the top? Yeah, let's take it from the
Okay.
top. We're already at 5 minutes. All right, clear your dicks.
Whoa, easy, partner.
And all right, I'm going to hit the big red button for intro in 3, 2, 1. Actually, you know what? Hit stop again. Anthony, do me a favor. Since you were messing around with your USB, can you do an audio test, please? Just because isn't that how it broke the last time?
No, it's when I walk away with this on and this gets disconnected, which I don't do anymore. I leave it here.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna hit the big red button in 3, 2, 1. This is Elijah. Intro sync 1.
This is Cat. Intro sync 2.
This is Anthony. Intro sync 3.
Intro in 3, 2.
I'm gonna shut the door. Stop!
Give them some egg powder.
That's not how it
Maybe
works.
that'll
All right.
that'll
everybody,
negate their bark.
I'm just gonna hit stop and then we'll clear our decks. It's gonna be that kind of show, folks. Welcome.
Yeah, Shane. I am somewhat sleep deprived. Although bless her, my wife does most of the overnight stuff. So.
It's like she's arguing with the dogs. What did I tell you about when I'm recording live? What did I say? We had a conversation about this. Welcome back.
I've closed every window, put her in her crate. Hopefully she won't be doing that.
Was that a Xerox machine? What did I just hear?
Oh,
Did you get
no,
a
that's her bark collar. Hey, stop it. That's
Does
her
that-
bark collar.
What does it do?
It just makes that noise because I don't want to like shock her, but honestly, I'm in favor of it right now. Ugh, so sorry.
Wow, they are hyper tonight.
Yeah, it's a whole. They're
Have you-
discovered like there's things under the house, so
What do you mean there's
Oh.
things under the house? What does that even mean?
Is this
Okay.
a Stephen King movie?
exactly. Ripley, stop it. Yeah, so they basically. Oh my God, hold on.
Oh. So, it sounds like she's got a poltergeist. It's like a poltergeist situation.
I don't like.
They're
Or does she mean animals?
here.
Like animals under the house and the dogs
I-
can smell them? Is that what it is?
I don't know. She didn't. I have no idea. She didn't
Well, let's
explain.
speculate. I mean,
I
let's-
think that it's. I think it's poltergeist. I think that she has a cemetery under her house. It was built on an old cemetery, and now.
So
the
it is a
dogs are
Stephen
going
King
crazy.
movie.
Yeah, it's poltergeist. No, I don't think poltergeist was Stephen King, but
No,
you
Pet
know,
Cemetery was Poltergeist. It was Pet Cemetery. Oh my god.
Yeah, Pet Cemetery was Stephen
Cemetery
King,
was
and
Stephen King.
poltergeist was.
Did I ever tell you that I lived down the street from Stephen King for a while?
You have, yeah, yes, you have.
He's got these crazy gargoyles on his fence that are like basically if you drive down the street and you're looking at the houses and then
He's
you
in
see
Bar
his
Harbor,
house.
isn't he? He's in Bar Harbor, isn't he?
No, he's in Bangor. His house is in
Bangor.
Bangor. Yeah. Basically,
Okay.
you drive down his street and you're looking at all the houses, and then all of a sudden you see this one house with the gate open and these crazy, freaky gargoyles on it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's Stephen King's house.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, she's shut up in the bedroom.
All right.
So what's under your house? Now we have a bet. Elijah thinks it's a poltergeist. I think it's animals.
Well, I don't know what it is because I couldn't see anything, but one of the dogs
You
got.
looked?
Well, one of the dogs got under the house today, so I spent the better part of the morning trying to get her out from under the house. So that
Is
was
it like a? I'm sure it's like a small crawl space too, right?
Yeah, but she got through like a vent, so yeah, I shined the flashlight and
Wait, was it Ripley?
no, she's too big to fit in there.
Oh,
It was
I'm just-
the other
just-
one.
I'm just because I just want to say how amazing it would be for Ripley to be going through going through air vents, being hunted by whatever.
Yeah, well, she tried, but she couldn't fit through the vent thing. So, Inara was all about whatever it was that's under the house. I don't know, but it's something she was barking at. It could be poltergeist. I don't know. Dogs bark at that stuff, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
have
they
a
have
dog.
that sense, right? They like know when stuff like that's happening.
Exactly. So, it's been an adventure dog day. So they're all wound up about whatever it is under the house.
Oh, somebody asked me what the red box was on my shelf. It's actually, this is a book. This is the Jean-Luc Picard autobiography.
Ooh, that's awesome.
It represents one of the times that Elijah and I almost met each other, but didn't.
No, that's true. That's true.
You guys have met each other now, though.
Yes.
Right, but before I came on the podcast, we discovered that we've been in basically the same room at the same time more than once.
Oh,
and
wow.
did not run into each other.
Weird.
Yeah, freaky.
Maybe I should be freaked out. Have you been following me, Anthony?
No.
Now I'm worried. He's been following me for the last 7 years and then auditioned to be on the show, and now he's on the show.
See, what you don't see is if I pan the camera that way, you'll see my Elijah shrine with all of the pictures and candles and
We're up close, like all the pores. Yeah.
Great.
all the hairs that I've collected.
Oh, creepy.
I have a picture of him, and I've glued on pieces of hair into his goatee on the picture.
Oh my God, this is the worst.
All right, sorry for the dog drama. All right.
This is your fault, Kat.
I know.
They found out about my Elijah shrine because of you.
Are we starting fresh?
Yes, we are starting fresh.
No, we've been recording this whole time.
No,
I know.
stopped recording.
Oh.
Yeah, clear your decks, please. All right. Shane, I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to hit the big red button in 3, 2, 1. This is Elijah. Intro for the third time. Sync 1.
This is Kat. Intro again for the third time. Sync 2.
This is Anthony. Sync. Bark, 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 bark.
Intro in 3, 2. Hello, Captains. You're listening to episode 421 of Priority One, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. Your weekly report from the Star Trek multiverse. Recorded live on Tuesday, July 9th, 2019, and available for download or streaming on Friday, July 12th at PriorityOnePodcast.com. I'm Elijah.
And I'm Kat.
And back with a vengeance is none other than Anthony Cox. Anthony, welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Glad to be back. Happy to be back. It's been a long few weeks.
Well, why don't you tell everybody where you've been these last 2 weeks?
Well, my wife and I and our 2 sons welcomed a new member of our family. We had a beautiful, strong baby girl 2 weeks ago, and her name is Delilah Catherine Ray Cox. And you might recognize the Star Wars reference in there, but there's also a Star Trek reference hiding in her name if you can figure it out.
Delilah with a D and Catherine with a C?
That is correct, yes.
Ah, okay, very well. Well, Captains, we'll leave it to you to try to figure out what the secret meaning and Star Trek related Well, Captains, we'll leave it up to you to figure out what the secret Star Trek meaning is in Anthony's new daughter's name. But, Anthony, it's good to have you back, and congratulations to you, your wife, and the rest of your family on a healthy baby girl. She looks absolutely adorable, so congrats.
Thank you.
All right, Kat, why don't you tell us what we've got coming up this week?
I know. This week, we're checking out Gersha Phillips' design choices and her redesign necessities from the Paley Center. Then we're reading from Vizzini's Rules of Acquisition, appraising Star Trek, and redrawing Prime Ministers. In Star Trek Online and gaming news, console captains can get some free goodies, and all 3 of the Discovery-era lockboxes are returning to PC for a limited time.
Give it to me from in Star Trek Online and gaming.
Hold on, I'm gonna shut another door.
Okay.
Not that it'll help, but hold on.
That'll teach them.
I swear. Okay.
Have you thought about giving them Tylenol PM?
Well, I hadn't until now, so maybe next week they're gonna get some Benadryl.
Take it for
their allergies might be acting up.
Oh. Can you do me a favor? Take it from the top of this week.
Yes, and I can still hear her, so sorry about that. This week we're checking out Gersha Phillips' design choices and her redesign.
You did an this. That'll be hard to cut. Sorry.
This week we're checking out Gersha Phillips' design choices and her redesign necessities from the Paley Center. Then we're reading from Bassini's Rules of Acquisition, appraising Star Trek and... Oh, man. Then we're reading from Bassini's Rules of Acquisition, appraising Star Trek and redrawing prime ministers. In Star Trek Online and Gaming news, console captains get some free goodies, and all 3 of the Discovery-era lockboxes are returning to PC for a limited time.
Oh, I'm going to add one last thing here. Sorry.
You just put Elijah Rant.
Yeah, all right. You figured, one of those.
All
you can
right.
take it from and Elijah.
And Elijah has a few thoughts, rant, about player retention.
Well done, Kat. That was good.
That was great.
Of course, as always, before we wrap up this show, oh my God, let me try that again. Of course, as always, before we wrap up the show, we'll open hailing frequencies for your incoming messages.
And if you haven't thought to, we encourage you to open hailing frequencies. Reach out to us. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/Priority One Podcast. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Priority One Pod. You can even send us an email via incoming@PriorityOnePodcast.com. And
of course, before we move on with this show, we have to take a moment to thank our patrons, listeners like you who offer a financial contribution from month to month to make sure that Priority One can continue to produce the quality content that you've come to expect. For those of you unaware, Patreon is a way for you to fund creators like podcasters like us. And in return, we offer special rewards at different tiers. For instance, at $5, you can join us in a $5 a month, you can join us in a private Hangouts chat where we discuss the latest Star Trek news and virtually anything else that we decide to talk about. Just visit patreon.com/PriorityOne. Wait, I think it's... Yeah, that's it. Okay, go ahead, Kat.
Offering a financial contribution may not be possible, and we totally understand. The next best method of supporting the show is by sharing Priority One podcast with your friends. When you start listening to our episodes, please share it. Most podcast apps make it easy to share an episode on social media, but you can also just follow us on our social media. She's scratching at the door now. Awesome. But you can also just follow us on our social media channels like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, then share, retweet, or repost.
Now let's check out the latest news from the Star Trek multiverse. Everybody hit stop.
Aww, that used to be my line.
Oh my God, I have to go tell her to shush. I'll be back again.
Actually, you know what, Anthony? Did you stop already?
No, I'm still recording.
Just deliver that.
Now, let's check out all the latest news from the Star Trek multiverse.
All right, cool. Do me a favor, just because, again, it's been 2 weeks, just listen back to what you just recorded to make sure it's golden.
Will do.
Please. Do we export to 192 or 128? 192.
192.
Yeah. All right. 44.1 and 192, right? Yeah.
Yes, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Shit. What did I do?
Okay. Save.
Where's my party one? Oh, here we go. 420. Oh, whoops. Jesus, I've forgotten how to do my things. Here.
I'll give her 5 seconds.
All right. Got any
God, I
numbers
will say
from the
that
folks?
thankfully
and
your
stuff?
dogs are taking the attention away from my screaming kids in the background that are refusing to go to bed.
Yeah, normally they are not this wound up. It's just, yeah, they just can't keep it together. They've been so good. I'm sure my neighbors, well, they already complained, so.
What kind of is it like you live in a house and then
Oh
it's
my
like neighbors across, or is it like a
Yeah. Well, the fence wraps around the yard, so if I'm in this room, I can't hear them like all the way around. So I didn't realize they were being so obnoxious on the other end of the yard. So
You know what?
yeah.
Did they leave
Was
you a
that-
strongly worded email or letter?
No, she came over and yelled because it was early in the morning.
Oh.
Well, your neighbors?
Yeah,
Oh.
not happy.
I love how that's people's reactions. Like, can't they just come over and be like, look, your dogs are annoying.
Well, she did that, and I'm like, I'm sorry. But it turns out that her bark collar battery was dying or dead, so I replaced it, and it helped for like a minute, but obviously she barks through it. Anyway.
Oh my God. No, Elijah, you're right. I didn't record anything.
Oh no.
Oh well, I guess I will edit you out and re-record all of your parts because I'm not doing intro again.
No, I'll just do. I just have this too. Oh.
Are you serious?
What happened?
Anthony, are you pulling my chain or are you
No,
serious?
I'm not pulling your chain. I'm sorry, I'm not pulling your chain. I don't. This is a test of the emergency Tony. Oh my God! Now it's not working at all.
Oh no.
I don't understand.
Wow, this is a great show tonight.
Yeah, everybody's being awesome.
I knew it. I knew that it was going to be.
Today's kind of been like that though all day. Everything that the random things that could have happened to go wrong, like you didn't expect, actually went wrong today.
It happened. Is it a full moon tonight? That could be it.
You know, I don't think so. But it could be something else crazy.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Do I sound like I'm on the right microphone?
Yes.
This is a test of the emergency Tony system. This is only a test.
So none of your intro recorded?
Apparently not. You were right. You're absolutely right. When I unplugged the camera, it must have. I don't know. I don't know why it would affect the microphone.
You should probably update your BIOS, but that's just a suggestion. Not now though. Maybe for next week's show.
It's so weird though because this is a brand new problem. Like this.
Yeah, it could be
this
it could
didn't
very well
happen
be a BIOS
the
problem.
entire year. Ugh.
All right, let's move on to Trek It Out, and if we have to go back to do intro, we'll do it. Can you do a test of yourself before we move forward?
I just did.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I'll keep an eye on it too, because it won't show up. Anyway, I'll have to look at I'll have to watch the
Waveform.
Audacity instead of looking at something else. So.
All right, I'm going to hit the big red button for Trek It Out in 3, 2, 1. This is Elijah. Trek It Out, Sync 1.
This is Kat. Trek It Out, Sync 2.
This is Anthony. Check it out. Sync 3.
Trek it out in 3, 2. This week, StarTrek.com advertised the final days of the... This week, StarTrek.com advertised the final days of Discovery's Paley Center exhibit, Fight for the Future. Okay. That's a different... I'm not going to deliver it that way. This week, StarTrek.com advertised the final days of Discovery's Paley Center exhibit, Fight for the Future, by speaking with costume designer Gersha Phillips. In the 4-minute and 43-second video, Phillips spoke about redesigning the Telosians. Quote, and it's going to be audio, but I'll read it. So I did my very first design. One of the notes that I got from Alex Kurtzman was to try to look at the original things and revamp them. So I did my very first design, and he actually threw back to me and said, "Can I go a little bit further and do what you do?" End quote. Yeah, this will sound probably much better in audio. Did I say end quote? End quote. Star Trek's costume designer also discussed the Red Angel suit, citing Scarlett Johansson's Ghost in the Shell costume as inspiration. She continued, saying, quote, "When we were given the task, Mario Moreira, that's what I'm going to say.
Moreira. I would say Moreira. But...
It's Moreira. There's an R in there. Moreira.
Yeah, Moreira.
When we were given... Okay, quote. When we were given the task, Mario Moreira came up with this idea of the propeller wings that would push her through time. And we had this whole other idea where we were going to build... It was going to be a pod, and then the angel suit would come out of the pod. When we were first given it, it was said that the suit was 1,000 years in the future, and then it turned out to be a suit her mom was wearing from the past. End quote. For more on Phillips' designs, her design inspiration, the Klingon store, what items Ethan Peck stole from the wardrobe, and Wilson Cruz's thoughts on his uniform, check out the video link in our show notes. Do you guys want to talk about anything about it? Anybody have anything to say about the costumes or anything? Or the Telosians?
Did she design the Klingons too?
What was that?
Did she design the Klingon stuff too?
I'm not sure.
Well.
All right. Let's move on.
All right. Can you imagine the Ferengi without their Grand Nagus? The thought is inconceivable. The capitalist species would have fallen victim to any number of
hold on a second. You got to give me more.
Have you
What's
seen
his
Princess
face?
Bride?
Yeah, but I'm not good at.
Oh, come on! It's just a long E. Inconceivable.
He doesn't say it like that.
Yes. Haven't you ever seen Wallace Shawn talk?
Well, I don't have a list.
You gotta scrunch your face up. Pretend like you're moving your face in like a small Ziploc bag, and then say it.
Oh my God.
Have fun with it.
Your idea of fun and mine are a little different. Okay, well, here we go. I am not an actor.
You're a lawyer. Yes, you are.
Well, okay, but I have to write it down first. I didn't write this, so it's more challenging. Okay. Anyway, can you imagine the Ferengi without their Grand Nagus? The thought.
Sorry, go take it back from Kenny.
Can you imagine the Ferengi without their Grand Nagus? The thought is inconceivable. Can't do it now. Can we insert quote?
Yeah, all right, okay, maybe.
Oh my god. I am a terrible at impressions. The capitalist species could have fallen victim to
Wait,
any number of classic blunders, including never get
wait,
involved
take it
in a
back.
land war in Asia.
Take
Come
it
on.
back. You're laughing in the middle of it.
No, I can't do it. Today is awesome.
Everything is awesome.
The thought is inconceivable. The capitalist species could have fallen victim to any number of classic blunders, the most famous of which is never get involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly well, oh my God, but only slightly less well known is, well, it doesn't matter. What we're really talking about is the incomparable Wallace Shawn and his portrayal of top Ferengi Grand Nagus Zek. This week, the 75-year-old New York native sat down with StarTrek.com to talk about his time on Deep Space Nine. This week, the 75-year-old New York native sat down with StarTrek.com to talk about his time on Deep Space Nine. Shawn told the site that he had never owned a television and only saw pieces of Star Trek The Next Generation when in hotel rooms, but he was impressed, quote, I always thought, wow, the cinematography is so great and it's so interesting looking with these interesting looking people and creatures. So when I was asked to do DS9, I was thrilled. I love the idea, end quote. I probably should have read that in a list, but hopefully you can insert him actually talking.
Yes. No, this is. I think this is a written article.
Oh man. All right. Well,
Only the
I'll
highlighted
do
stuff.
better on my lisp impressions.
Does he have a lateral? Doesn't he have a lateral lisp?
Oh, I didn't know
It's
lists went in
conceivable.
directions.
What?
I didn't know lists went in directions.
They do.
I have a northwest by southwest list.
Mine's at 23 degrees.
Mine goes off to the left.
Oh man. Shawn also had kind words. Shawn also had kind words about Star Trek's fans Shawn also had kind words about Star Trek's fans, telling StarTrek.com, quote, Star Trek fans are a particular group. They're very distinctive as people. There seem to be no evil Star Trek fans. They're a distinctly good-hearted group of people. It's an interesting group of people, end quote.
You see, if I was trying to read it.
No, I can't do it.
You see, he told.
I can't.
All right, never mind.
For a link to the article, which provides insight into Shawn's opinion of his fellow Ferengis and an encounter with a Star Trek executive, check out the show notes.
You got to start with something that Grand Nagus says. You got to be like, quack, quack.
I'll practice my Zek.
I think we need a Zek.
Don't you bow before your Grand Nagus?
That's close. That was pretty good.
Zeki.
You know, I have to admit that, you know, I loved him in Princess Diaries, for sure.
Princess
Bride.
Diaries?
Oh,
Princess
Diary.
Bride.
What's
Princess
Princess
Bride.
Diary?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know why I thought what am I confused? I'm mixing two things.
Well,
That's
the Princess Diaries is a movie, but it's
it is
not.
a movie. Okay, all right. So Princess
But-
It's not Princess Bride.
Yeah,
It's Princess Bride.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I meant. That's
oh
what I
my
meant.
God. Vicini. So good.
I absolutely loved him in Princess Bride, and you know, honestly, I grew to enjoy the Ferengi more in Deep Space Nine, especially, for instance, what's his name? Wallace Shawn as Zek. That was a nice touch.
I love that episode when Quark goes home and Zek's in the closet because Moogie is hooking up with Zek. And Quark's like, why is the Nagus in my closet? Did he find out I was here? Because he'd been banned. Had to give up his business license.
Yes. Well,
Yeah, I never liked the Ferengi until like after I watched Deep Space Nine a couple times.
I agree. Well, captains, that brings us to our first community question this week. How, if at all, did the Grand Nagus affect your opinion of the Ferengi? Let us know in the comment section for this episode at Priority One Podcast. Let us know in the comment section for this episode at the newly relaunched PriorityOnePodcast.com, or by replying to our social media posts asking this very community question. Asking this very same community question.
If you like history, reality TV, or just really jonesing for some new small screen Star Trek representation, that's a long sentence. If you like history, reality TV, or are just really jonesing for some new small screen Star Trek representation, PBS might have something for you. This week, the long-running appraisal series Antique Roadshow is setting its sights on outer space. The episode, titled Out of This World, is part of PBS Summer of Space promotion and will feature signed memorabilia from Amelia Earhart, John Glenn, and Neil Armstrong, as well as production pieces from Star Trek. TV Guide's description of season 23's 19th episode reads, quote, "Space-themed treasures are featured, including NASA space program autographed photos, a 1737 celestial and terrestrial atlas, and a Star Trek treatment, script, and letters," end quote. The Chicago Tribune also posted an interview with longtime Antique Roadshow appraiser Layla Dunbar, so be sure to check out the show notes for a link. I one time had to tell John Glenn that there were no movie theater seats available for him and his daughters to see the movie Gravity.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Wow.
Because the theater was full, so there were no seats available for him and his daughters to see the movie. So I had to tell him, I had to say, sorry, Mr. Spaceman, Senator.
Wow.
There are no seats available for you and your daughter just to see the movie Gravity, of all movies.
Yikes.
And-
I never saw that movie.
All right. Sir Wilfrid Laurier. Sir Wilfrid Laurier, are you out of your Vulcan mind? Who is Sir Wilfrid Laurier, you may be asking? Well, he is the first French-Canadian Prime Minister of the Dominion of Canada and the face of Canada's $5 bill. And he is being transformed into our beloved Mr. Spock. This is super old. This is old news.
It's resurfaced.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's been making the rounds.
In a trend that is currently accompanying the hashtag Spocking5s, budding Canadian artists are drawing pointy ears, slanted eyebrows, and Starfleet deltas on the Canadian $5 bill, turning the former Prime Minister into a Vulcan first officer. While the act is technically not illegal, the Bank of Canada warns, quote, "There are important reasons why it should not be done. Writing on a banknote may interfere with the security features and reduces its lifespan. Markings on a note may also prevent it from being accepted in a transaction. Furthermore, the Bank of Canada feels that writing and markings on banknotes are inappropriate as they are a symbol of our country and a source of national pride." End quote. That was my best corporate voice. I hope to never have to use it again.
But it was a Canadian corporation, so shouldn't it have been like, there are important reasons why you should not be doing this. Write on the banknote that may interfere with the security features of resources and lifespan. Eh?
I think you went
was a mix.
way Minnesota on that.
I need to get some of the
You
Canadian.
do know that Minnesota borders Canada, right?
I do know that, but Minnesota has its own dialect, and it's not the same.
It's very, very similar. Very similar.
You know what? My girlfriend would probably argue with you about that.
Oh my God.
As a matter of fact, I don't even need to have my girlfriend argue with you about it. I can argue with you about it. Where's my diction book?
I'd rather have an argument with her. Because usually what ends up happening is that she agrees with me by the end of it.
Not at all. Not at all. I can't wait for her to listen to this episode and write a
I'm
strongly
like, I can't
worded
wait for her to
email.
listen to this episode.
I don't have anything to say about the banknotes. We can wrap it up.
I want one. That's all I'll say about it.
Yeah.
I don't have any Canadian dollars.
You see, even Harvey Lee in the chat says, "Nah, that's Minnesota Fargo, there, buddy."
Yeah, well, you should look where Fargo is on a map.
How dare you talk to our listeners like that? You pompous. You know what? I never. You know, you're fired. You know what? You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
You got to fire me 3 times tonight because I've been gone for 3 weeks. So you gotta make up for it.
All right, Kat. Why don't you sweep us up?
Well, captains, that's all I would have, except I can't read. Well, captains, that's all the news we have to trek out this week. Now let's find out what happened in the world of Star Trek gaming.
Everybody hit stop. Hey, Tracy is in the chat. Lieutenant
Hey,
J.
Hi,
from
Tracy.
Star Trek: The Next Generation.
What?
I just
Tracy-
watched the scene from Star Trek Generations when everything explodes on the bridge and Tracy falls out of a chair and they have to take her off because she's injured.
Wait,
I just watched that scene.
wait? Is that because of the recut, the reshoot, the guy that did
Yeah,
the recut
yeah,
of
the
it?
recut. Yeah, which was terrible. I didn't like it. Whoever did that did not do a good job.
I mean, it wasn't. It made sense, but it wasn't edited well.
No, the recut does not make sense.
His recut
recut
makes
is-
sense and is
No.
in the right order, but the editing quality is a little meh.
I would argue. I mean, I see what they were trying to do, but I don't agree with their choices of edits.
Well, okay.
And as an editor, who I've edited short films and videos and stuff. I didn't think it was
As
great.
an editor, what? Like you can't just be like,
Oh,
as an editor, I
don't.
of video.
I did.
I, as an editor,
I don't agree with the choices they made.
I just want to state
Comma as an editor. Period.
Tracy, when are you coming on the show? Tracy's got to come on. You got to come on the show and chat with us. We start earlier now. At a reason. Well, actually, it's earlier, way early for West Coast time, and evening for us here on the East Coast. But we got to get you on the show, Tracy. Are you going to be at Vegas this year, Tracy? Are you going? Oh, we can meet you there. All right. Let's do Stowe News. Actually, you know what? Let's do Game Print.
Let's do game print.
All of a sudden, I heard somebody's gain shoot way up.
That was I muted my mic because I had to yell at my kids.
Okay. All right, so 2A Game Print. All right. I'll message Johnny again and touch base with him. But are you going to be at Vegas? Who in the chat is going to be at Vegas? I'm just curious. Who's watching us live right now? It's going to be at
Mike,
at
I did not
STLV.
yell in Canadian. And also, somebody mentioned. I want to go back. Lance, was it Lance? Somebody had called out Beard Hunter from Doom Patrol, and I think it was Lance. If it wasn't Lance, I apologize. But yeah, it was Lance. Lance Wilson called out Beard Hunter from Doom Patrol, and I love Doom Patrol. Beard Hunter is amazing. The whole first season of Doom Patrol was probably my favorite superhero television show of all time. It was so good.
I thought you were talking about Paw Patrol because you have kids, and I was like, well,
No. But it's funny because all of the episodes in Doom Patrol are named something Patrol, and there's an episode called Paw Patrol.
all right, let's do. It's the kid show, Paw Patrol. Oh, and Doom Patrol is the DC.
I was like, I do not know what either
Doom
one
Patrol
is.
is a DC Comics team that they did a show for, and it's literally the best comic book show that's ever been made. It's so good.
I'll have to watch it. Am I gonna enjoy it without having read the comics?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I've never read a Doom Patrol comic, and I loved it.
And because I've been watching Krypton, and it had a slow start in season 1. Like the first few episodes were kind of crappy, but I finished season 1 of Krypton. I'm at season 2 now.
The production quality of Doom Patrol is way better than Krypton.
And I gotta say,
the writing is so good. Like the writing is so good. It's a really great show.
Because you know what was not good or was decent, but it didn't grab me was Teen Titans. Did you watch Teen Titans?
Yeah. You mean Titans?
Titans.
Yeah, but you saw the Doom Patrol episode in Titans, right?
No, I didn't make it that far in Titans.
It's like oh really? Okay. There's an episode where they meet the Doom Patrol, and then there's the show of the Doom Patrol, which is just it's so good. It's so good.
Well, this is a Star Trek show, so let's get back to that. Let's hit the big red button for game print in 3, 2, 1. This is Elijah, game print sync 1.
This is Kat, game print sync 2.
This is Anthony, game print sync 3.
Game print in 3, 2. Captains, as we mentioned in our introduction for this episode, much of the weekly production costs of Priority One are brought to you by our patrons. But there are some additional expenses that come up from year to year. Trips to Vegas, trips to conventions, and unexpected expenditures on equipment. Thankfully, we've teamed up with Mixed Dimensions, the company behind the 3D printing, the company that allows you to 3D print your starship from Star Trek Online. The best part is that you don't even have to be a Star Trek Online player. You can just explore their extensive library of ships that have already been uploaded by players, and you can go ahead and rename the ship and give it a unique registry number. Anthony, you did a video unboxing of the... Yeah, let's do that. Anthony, a few weeks ago, we posted our unboxing of 3 ships that you had received. How are those holding up, and what can you tell us in a summation of that unboxing video?
Yeah, Mixed Dimensions sent us 3 ships. They sent us what I thought was the Pathfinder ship, but it was actually a different ship. But it's based on the Intrepid class, and it's a Star Trek Online variant of that class in the smaller version. And then they sent us a medium-sized ship, which was really nice, which was the Shran class, one of the new Discovery era updated ships for 2410. And that is a really nice ship. It's got some weight to it, nice and smooth. The details look fantastic. The coloring and just the crispness of the lines of the Starfleet logos and everything just looked really nice. And then there was the Sojourner class, which is a variant of the Odyssey, a tier 6 variant of the Odyssey. And, that's got a lot of complicated pieces, including the gap between the drive section and the saucer. It also had some kit bash warp nacelles on it that had some little wings that came out, and everything came out really nice and was, again, really crisp, clean lines. The detail was really amazing. I was really impressed with how clear and how defined the physical details of the ship were, and then how the coloring was then printed onto it. Really nice, and it makes me want to get my own bigger ship now, because I've seen what they can do at the larger size.
Hey, Keko. Well, if you are interested in checking out that video, visit us over on our YouTube channel. Links, of course, will be in the show notes for a complete unboxing done by Anthony. Go ahead, Kat.
Oh, like, is it me?
Yeah, sorry.
With options starting at just $19.99 for a 4-inch color print and the reintroduction of their hand-painted models, there's no reason why you shouldn't add a unique starship to your collection, customized just for you.
Now, the best part of this partnership is not just that we're talking about their ships, but we're also providing 20% off of your order of all ship sizes in all styles. Just use code priority20, that's the word priority and the numbers 20 at checkout. So, jump into Star Trek Online, upload your favorite ship, or just browse their extensive library of preloaded ships, change the name, change the registry, and start building your own armada today. Again, use coupon code priority20, the word priority and the numbers 20 to save 20% off your order. We thank GamePrint. Now we thank Mixed Dimensions for their support of this podcast. All right, hit stat. Nice Alfred Woodard action figure. I don't know who's got that.
Yeah, it's my Lily action figure from First Contact.
Lily.
I found this at a toy store in Rhode Island. They had a bin of stuff that was like, buy two for $5 or something.
All right, so we've got an hour before mission log. Let's see if we can get through the rest of this show. For those of you that are interested, actually, speaking of, this is a link for those of you that are in the chat. This is a link to Mixed Dimensions, and so you can take a look at all the ships that they've got there. They just actually restarted their hand-painted models too. So check them out and use priority20.
Yeah, look, I got one of the 4-inch ones myself, and it's nice, but the bigger ships are just like I'm really amazed at what they can do at the larger sizes.
What size? Like how big is the largest one you can get?
I think
12 inches, I believe.
Yeah, it's 12 inches, and I think
Really?
the Sojourner class that they sent us that was the 12-inch one, and oh my gosh, it was just and the Shran class as well, like
Oh no, 18 inches. Jeez.
really nice.
Oh, really? Wow.
But the two big ones that they sent, I was really impressed with the quality and everything that's on there. I was really surprised at how well those came out.
Mike,
Nice.
did you use our coupon code for that? I'm just curious. Has anybody else in the chat ordered and thought about getting something? In the meantime, can you guys make good radio? Because I have to use the restroom.
Sure.
Yes. I'm thinking I might have to order one when I get paid. Because
they're really nice. What are you thinking about getting?
Well, probably D4 is because you can do like your own ship, right?
You can do your own ship. I think the only restrictions are you can't do any ships from Discovery.
But you got a Shran.
No, but that's the 2410 version.
Oh, I see.
Ship. So,
okay, well, I would get, I think I'd get the D4X because I love that ship. And then, I really love the temporal ship, so I might get like a temporal science vessel.
I've seen those. I'm actually curious to see with the new vanity shields from the RISA event, how those might look on.
Oh man, I don't know. Those are really bold, some of those colors.
Yeah. But that's, you put it on a ship that might look nice on,
Well, I know a lot of people, a couple of people have used the Ferengi vanity shields for their Ferengi ships, and they say it looks awesome. I would consider that. Of course, I don't have a Grand Negus, but I do have a Nandi and a Decorus, so I might try that.
I actually put the Ferengi shield on. I have a Shuck Din escort.
Oh, cool.
Which I use for a character that I modeled after Samus from Metroid.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
So this is a character from a Nintendo game, Samus from. She's a bounty hunter from Metroid.
Okay.
And so I used armor pieces in the game to make her costume in the game, and I used the what is it, the wrist cannon?
Mm-hmm.
You know the
Lucari one?
No, it's not the Lucari one. It's the one from the Lobi store. It's a I want to say it's a fluidic. It's a fluidic weapon, but there's a wrist cannon you can get. And when I saw that, I said, "Oh, well, I have to make this character now." So I used to make her ship from the game, because her ship in the game has this orange color.
Mm-hmm.
So I used the Ferengi shields on the Shuck Din escort because that looks like her ship from the video game.
Cool. Yeah, I like those vanity shields. They're they're pretty good. Have you got anything else from the summer event store?
I've been on this kick of creating characters from other sci-fi movies or games.
Well, I hear you, because I did, for a costume contest, I did the Dune. I did Dune.
Somebody from Dune? Oh, that's awesome.
That's
a deep cut too.
Yeah, Muad'Dib, and then I did Fade, obviously, and Alia, or Aliyah, whichever way you pronounce it, and then I did Chani.
So I recently made Paul, the alien Paul from the movie.
Oh,
Paul.
I love that movie.
And so I made him after the summer event last year. So when the summer event came around this year, I got the shorts that he wears in the movie.
Oh,
so I went and got board shorts today. Actually, it was today. I think I bought them in the store, and I added them. And then I got him. He's flying the Lucari flying saucer.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That's what his ship looked like in the movie. So yeah, so he's a Federation science character, I think. So yeah, so I got his shorts. So he's bare chested with the shorts and the big head, and he's the long arms and stuff. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, so that's pretty fun.
All right, let's do Stowe News, shall we?
Sure.
I don't know what you guys were talking about, but I'm sure it was delightful.
Vanity shields.
I spent time earning the Lolonaut stuff for the Lolonauts for.
Here, I'm gonna get a refill while you guys make it ready.
For the Bozeman shield, right? Because I like the concept of the black and gold, right? Like I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it's not so much the black and gold.
No, it's not, is it? It is. It is
like not black and gold at all.
No, it's just a really shit yellow. I'm sorry, I have to say it. Pardon my French, but it is a not flat. It is a non-pretty yellow, and I'm like, yeah, Gold Ranger. I'm gonna be like the Gold Ranger. Zio, yeah. Cause look,
not so much.
No, not so. Because look, if you're a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger fan, you've got to respect Zio. But here's the thing: it is an ugly shade of both black and gold, and it's not even like. I thought it was gonna be like smooth. You can't change your hull type.
No.
It just sticks to the same. Like, so I figured maybe with like the veteran hull, it might be looking good or something. But no.
Yeah, that was why I brought up. I was like, are vanity shields kind of replace like ship customization? Because I'm not a fan of that. I like some other ship visuals. I mean, I get that you can get an overlay, but I don't know. I hope that doesn't go away.
Did you just talk? What did he say?
I don't know. Something about being something.
I don't know. Maybe I'll try a different. I just like the black and gold, man. I just thought. I thought it was. On the we should talk about this. You know what? We should talk about this in Stowe News. That should be.
All right, we can talk about it in Stowe News. Because I feel like they could have given it a metallic look to it. Because they do on other ships, like those Romulan ships, totally look shiny and chrome plated and
even
awesome.
the Ryson Corv, the new Ryson ship, when they advertised it on on the blog post, that looks like shine. It looked like a black with like a gold shade to it. You know, like
Yeah, it's no.
no, it's just black and gold, and it is not an attractive yellow. It is not gold. It is not attractive.
It's kind of.
Is that what the gold Ferengi Nandi ship look like? Is that like
No,
just that ugly
they
gold?
look golden. I mean, like gold, not that shade.
Remember
So
those?
do you like? Because you got the black and gold one, right?
Yeah, I do not. I've tried it on like 2 or 3 ships that I have.
You don't
and
like
I do
it?
not like it. No, man. I was.
I think I'm only gonna get the Vulcan one because it's purple. The other ones, I'm like, yeah, I've seen those. Maybe I'll get the Ferengi one though, just for fun.
I have a problem. I love Spaceship Barbie, so I like have to have all the vanity shields. Like I just have to have them just in case I want to use them.
Do you have all of them?
I have. I think I have all of them except for the Mirror Universe one.
Oh wow.
And then the new ones from Risa this year. But I have all of the tier 6 ones, and I have the Ferengi one, and I have.
Do you have the Discovery one?
Anthony,
Oh,
did
is
you
there a
update?
Discovery?
Did you put your shirt order in? Did you put that into the?
I did, yes.
Okay.
It was two t-shirts and 2 polos.
Kat, would you like a priority 1 T-shirt?
Yes.
Okay. Message me. All right.
Medium, please.
Tell Henry he still owes me a 4X disco t-shirt
Okay.
from last year.
I don't know where I put that document. Good radio.
Okay, good radio.
What are people saying in the chat?
Yeah, what are people at? I don't even have the. Sorry, y'all. I can't multitask at this point yet, so I don't have the chat pulled up. So if you asked me anything, I don't.
All right, let's
haven't
do.
read it.
Sorry, I messaged Henry. Okay, let's do Stone News. I'm going to hit the big red button in 3, 2, 1. This is Elijah. Star Trek Online News, Sync 1.
This is Kat, Star Trek Online News, Sync 2.
This is Anthony, Star Trek Online News, Sync 3.
Stone News in 3, 2. Console captains can now claim the free Rise of Discovery pack in their respective game stores. PlayStation Plus users can claim the free pack, which contains 1 Cobalt Combat Tardigrade, 1 Cobalt Covert Assault Drone Pet, and 3 Master Keys. Xbox One captains will receive a Verdant. Xbox One captains will receive a Verdant Combat Tardigrade, a Verdant Assault Drone, and 3 Master Keys as well. There are no details on if or when this promotion will end, so be sure to grab your pick. So be sure to grab your free pack today.
I actually think this is kind of cool that they've done this in the past with some stuff, but I think the 3 free Master Keys is pretty good.
They get a free pack? That's awesome. We didn't
Yeah.
get a free pack on PC.
They did a similar thing when Mirror of Discovery launched. They gave out a variant of the Emperor's Sword, and they did a Cobalt version for the PS4 players and a Verdant version for the Xbox players. I have an account on PlayStation, and I play every once in a while, so it's nice that they throw this kind of stuff out every once in a while with certain launches.
Yeah, I think console players have it a little tougher, so I don't begrudge them any cool stuff they get. They deserve it. Well done, console players. Oh, I guess that's me next. If you're still on the hunt for any of the Discovery era lockbox ships, all 3 of the Discovery lockboxes have returned to the game on PC. The Discovery, Emperors, and Section 31 lockboxes will now randomly drop when defeating enemies. All 3 boxes are also available for free in both the Zen and Dilithium stores. These lockboxes will remain available until August 1st.
Oh, it's me. Actually, it should be you, Anthony, isn't it? Yeah, it's you. It should be.
I mean, I usually do supplemental stuff later on.
No, but I will. But Yeah, all right, fine.
You want me to do it?
Yes.
Oh no, I'll do it because we're gonna do the
yes,
discussion.
yes.
Yeah, no. Yep. You're right. Okay. If you're not a lifetime member for Star Trek Online, now may be the time. Lifetime subscriptions are on sale for both PC and console. Save $100 off a lifetime sub on PC or save 33% off the lifetime subscription on consoles from now until August 1st. Check out the show notes for a full list of all the perks that come with being a lifer.
All right, captains, it's been about a week or so since the Risa summer event has gone live, and I'm curious to know what your first impressions are. Kat, how are you enjoying this Risa event?
Oh,
Kat,
I love Risa. And the lighting, it's so beautiful. I mean, it's cool to just go there and hang out if you're doing your dailies or whatever. But, I love going to Risa. Dance party, flying around on the floater. Yeah, it's all great.
Now, it's still too early to have earned the ship, right?
Well, you could earn the ship if you want to spend all your Lobi, but I don't. So I'm only like 200 vouchers in. So, yeah, I know some players that have really been looking forward to the T6 Rising Corvette, so they already have it. But I'm just gonna grind for it.
Yeah, I have a Klingon character that flies the Tier 5 Rising Corvette, so I'm looking forward to upgrading that character to this new one. And I'll probably end up getting the pilot version as well from the Fleet Store.
Oh, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to that.
So one thing that you could have done by now is earned one of those vanity shields or, anything else from the Lolonut store. I think I started this event with maybe 250 Lolonut favors, and it took me about 2 days to get the 1,000 I needed for the vanity shield. And for those of you that may not be aware, I'm a bit of a Power Rangers fan. It was my era, Mighty Morphin and Zeo. And after Zeo, that's Zeo's my last Ranger era. And to be fair, if you like Mighty Morphin, you have to like Zeo. But anywho, I was really looking forward to the Bozeman Titans one, that black and gold color scheme, because I'm thinking, yeah, black Zeo Ranger, I'm going to be able to deck out my ship. It's going to look so cool. Maybe I might even 3D print it. I earned my 800 Lolonut favors, and I bought the Bozeman, and I am not happy with how it looks in my ships. And I've tried it on like 3 different ones.
No, those colors come out so good. Sorry.
Apparently your dogs don't like them either.
They said they were crap.
You're muted now. Now she's muted. Okay. Yeah, it didn't look like the blog post, right? The blog post, it was like a black with a gold tint to it almost kind of thing. A metallic looking color. But on any other ship, I don't know if maybe it's just designed for the Rysian Tier 6 ship that's available this year, but on any other ship, it's literally like part of your ship is black and part of your ship is a very not attractive yellow gold color.
Were you looking at it just in the ship tailor?
In the ship tailor and in space.
So you did go out and check it in space, because I know sometimes the lighting is a little weird in the ship tailor, so you really got to take it for a test drive.
And the thing about the ship tailor is that it overrides your hull type. The vanity shield overrides your hull type, so you can't even change the hull to maybe make it look smoother with like a veteran hull, or it just didn't. I was disappointed.
Yeah, I really don't like that you can't mess with the vanity. I'm like, you can't update your ship visuals while wearing a vanity shield. I like the customization, but I get that the vanity shield is supposed to be set that way, but I like to mess with it.
Anthony, have you had an opportunity of doing anything in the summer event this year?
I've been playing around a little bit. I made a character but after the event last year, and I wanted them to have some of the board shorts. So earlier today, I went on and Did some dancing, did some powerboard racing, and got some more of those favors to get the board shorts for my character named Paul.
Yeah, it really doesn't take long to say, to stock up on favors. Give yourself a couple of hours and you've got at least 500 or 600 to get something. But yeah, it doesn't take long.
I actually enjoy most of the activities in the summer festival also. The powerboard racing and I actually like the artifact finding one from the Ferengi guy from
oh yeah, you either love that one or hate it.
I for some reason, I like it, I get it, and when I do it I always find the artifact. It's not
like within how long though? See, if I do it takes me like the full 10 minutes because I'm oh my god, where is this thing?
It probably takes me two to 4 minutes.
No, get out of here.
No, I'm serious.
So here's what I discovered is that I don't take like 2 steps and then scan and another 2 steps and scan. I will scan and then maybe start with like 5 paces, scan again, and then go 20 paces.
Oh, you're doing too short. You're doing too short.
So
I go a quarter of the
20 paces.
I scan, and then I go a quarter of the way across the island in a straight line. And then I scan again.
Yeah.
Because then that'll help you narrow it down faster.
Well, you've been lucky because I don't want to go halfway across the island only to say that you're hotter.
Farther away from.
Right, because it's cold and hot.
You're using the floater, right?
I'm using the floater, or I'm using the floater, or I'm walking. I mean, it's never taken me the full amount of time, but it definitely the first time I did it, that was confusing. That I was like, what am I doing? I have no idea what this is about.
Oh, I don't know. I got it. I like it. I know exactly how it works. Like it. I really like it. It's fun.
Must be like a personality type thing. Cause I like dance party. I like dance party. That's easy.
You got to triangulate the location. So you scan once, you go in a straight line halfway across the island, you scan again. That'll eliminate half the island. Then you start moving into the other corner of the triangle, and then you'll eventually find it.
Yeah, it sounds like.
So I'm gonna get ranty here for a second because I'm gonna get ranty here for a second because if I were to label myself, it would most certainly be the casual MMO player, the casual Star Trek Online player. I have a max out character. I have because I've been playing for 7 years, I have a very good handle on the game mechanics for Star Trek Online. It's not like whenever I jump in, I don't know what I'm doing or whatnot. But there were a few things in my recent play sessions that kind of made me think. For starters, the Lolonaut store, right, getting to that store is not intuitive at all whatsoever.
Under the events tab?
Right. Well, you've got to go to your events store, right? You've got to go to the events store. Now, here's the thing. If I've never played the game before, and I have a friend say, hey, look, it's a summer event. It's beautiful. Try it out. You get a free ship, whatnot. You got to earn these things. The finding that store is not easy, right? One of the reasons why I think I was able to find it as fast was because, I knew to right-click the item, I knew to hit detail, I knew to read what it said. But if you're new to the MMO genre, it is not intuitive to find out where to spend the Lolonaut favors. It's not like there's a contact on the island. Which
there is, though.
There is.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Next to the
Where?
tailor.
Next to the tailor.
Yeah,
you
right
see?
and vendor.
Well, geez, I've been playing 7 years, and I was inside the resort, and I still didn't see him.
Yeah, it's
right?
out on the boardwalk next to the tailor. And when you go inside, you can buy the power boards from the guy, but the whole store is from that one other guy.
Yeah, you see, I've been playing this game since launch, since beta, right? And even now, I still had to go, wait a minute, where do I go to spend the Lolonaut favors? Oh, okay, the reputation store. Oh, okay, I see it. I got to click on the bottom. It's several clicks before you get to the store via the UI. And then on the map, I didn't even you see contacts on the map, and I didn't even see like Lola Nut store. Like I didn't see it on the map. So I think the point that I'm trying to make in this particular instance is that for an event like this, which is intended to draw returning players and perhaps even new players, some of these things should probably be a little more in your face, with like a big sign that says, spend the crap you earn here, right? And or, you know, a button on the UI that pops up whenever you're on the map that says store, and then you spend the items in the store. That's just a little tweak. It's just a little tweak that I think would make the user experience a little better. Anybody want to comment on that?
No, I agree. And I know that Andre, the new executive producer, has mentioned that that's one of the things that he is trying to get improved in the game. And if you noticed in the new TFOs, what's the new one? Parallel Repavo?
Yeah.
Operation
Riposte. If you notice in Operation Riposte, they actually have a big shining beam of light to where you're supposed to bring those captured Klingon escape pods.
Oh,
yes.
right.
Where the brand is.
Yes.
And that, the big triangle. So that's new. And I think that eventually, hopefully, that'll be extended to things like special stores and other things that we're having a hard time finding. I will say that I think when you first go to the island, if it's your first time doing the event, there is a reputation mission that you have to do to unlock the store. And I actually would think that it's easier for new players to figure out where the store is than it is for returning players, because if you haven't played, because a lot of us who are casuals, will come in when there's a new event happening. I mean, thankfully They're doing more events now than they have in the past, but it's been a year since we've gone to this place or thought about these items, and so you sometimes don't remember where that stuff is. So but yeah, I agree. Hopefully they can figure out a way to make those kinds of things more prominent, where we can spend those items, where we can spend those favors and things like that.
Now, so you segued me very well in terms of the casual player that may spend a year not coming back, which is not us. Obviously, we play much more than that. I was thinking the other day, I was trying to get through the mastery tier. I was trying to get through the 5th mastery for the Baran, and I realized, okay, I'll just jump in a random, right? Forgetting that the random can also throw you into a ground mission, a random TFO, which gives you a bonus, which gives you bonus rewards when playing, right? If you select a random, you get extra rewards for having done random. Now, when I ended up being on a ground mission, I was disappointed. I was like, boo. My goal is to level up my mastery for my ship so I can switch over to the fleet version of it, while using the starship trait, perhaps, and experimenting with it. But alas, I've been stuck doing a ground mission which does not contribute to that. So it got me thinking, why not do 3 different reward tiers for random? I mean, I'm sure that there are reasons, such as game development, but for instance, I tend to like space battles way more than I like ground combat. And I think that even in interviews, it's safe to say that a majority of players do tend to skew more towards space battles in terms of preference. What about catering to those 3 audiences? The first audience, who loves their space battles, create a UI option that allows you to join any random space TFO, and that gives you maybe 1 times the bonus rewards. And then another one for ground, and that gives you 1 times the bonus for a TFO. And then a third option, which is random everything, random anything, and that gives you maybe 1.5 times the reward bonus. I think that you would end up targeting and catering to a broader audience that would entice people to come in, complete their endeavor projects, their daily endeavors, get through whatever content they want to get to, right? Because the idea is that you want people to play missions. You want people to play the content. I totally understand that. And the random TFO bonuses was an excellent step in that direction. I think, however, that you would get an even better and larger pool of people if you could choose, for instance. Now, yes, maybe you would see fewer people playing ground combat because they'd be playing space. Yeah, but you know what? At least people are playing all of the space content.
I think, yes, that a choice between space and ground would be welcome, and only, I know some people prefer space, but yes, to do your endeavors, you sometimes have to do ground, but also because of your, when you set up your specializations, you can't, change it once you've decided to queue up for a random, so you don't know if you should, spec for space or ground, so you're stuck.
That's an excellent point, Kat. Yeah.
Yeah, with the general, you're stuck with, ones that cover both, or you just decide, oh, I'm just going to go with space, whichever build, whichever your skills are set up. So it would be nice to be able to change your specialization on the fly, or give you an option for space or ground.
Right. And I would be absolutely okay with, if you select space or you select ground, your bonuses may not be as impressive as if you do a random for either one, right?
Right. And that's a good point, too, because I'd never thought of it. I'm like, why can't they just give us a choice for space or ground and then, keep the rewards? But yeah, if there was bigger incentive to stay fully random or whatever, whichever is easier to do, but at least a choice, or at least to be able to change your specializations, would be nice.
I disagree. I think random should be random, and I think one of the reasons is that when you give players a choice, obviously space combat is more fun, it's more enjoyable.
I like ground.
Nails it. Ground combat is different, and I think a lot of people they don't want to do both. They just want to do one or the other. They want to be good at one or the other. I think if you give players a choice, you're going to create a division, and then you're not going to have as many people playing ground as you are space. That's just going to be a given. That's a fact. And I think that that's then going to diminish the ground choice more than the space choice.
Right, and that may be why they decided to just make it fully random in the first place, because they wanted people to play all the TFOs, not just space or ground.
Exactly. And the other thing is, I agree with you about the specializations, and we've actually brought that up to Al in the past, and they said that they were going to look into that, about possibly being able to allow us to adjust them after we enter the mission.
Yeah.
But I think that you then just go back to the previous issue of people queuing up for missions that they want to do, and then nobody else joining those queues.
That's not necessarily the case. I completely disagree, because here's the difference. Before the random feature was introduced for TFOs, previously known as queues, people were playing the new hotness, and nobody was playing the old stuff. Right, and the new hotness was either space, or it was ground, or it was either one or the other, or both, depending on the release. And it was always the new hotness took precedence over any of the TFOs. Random was introduced, and now it allowed for content to be played by players that may have never been played before, right? That's great. Trust me, I do not disagree that randoms weren't a great incentive for TFOs. Queues, however, for the old players like us.
For the old players like us, they were STFs.
That's right. That's a good point. They're STFs. Yeah. But first of all, there are dozens of TFOs, STFs, queues, whatever you want to call them. There are dozens for both games played. There are dozens of STFs, TFOs, queues for both ground and space, right? Mm-hmm. Dozens. I mean, it's an exhaustive list of content, right? Why not? Yes, ground may suffer a little bit because everybody might jump on the space content, but I think that's telling more of ground combat than anything else. I hate to say it. Be that as it may, you're still getting players to play content. Old content, new content, done through random, except in this case, you are now giving players the option. I want to play a random space queue. I want to play a random ground queue. And I know and I recognize that my bonus may not be as handsome as if I just did a random for anything. But you know what? I prefer my choice is space. I would rather play space. So now let's build upon this even further. Then you have a weekend event where if you do a random ground, you get 3 times the bonus. Another week, if you do, it's a space event, or it rotates every other week. It rotates on which one is the bonus reward or the most bonus reward. I think that instead of, I think that you're not fragmenting the audience by doing this. Instead, you're actually drawing more people in.
I just don't see people queuing up for the random ground.
I would.
I mean, but would you do it if it wasn't
like an endeavor?
Yeah, would you do it if it wasn't an endeavor?
I probably would, because I actually love to play ground missions, and I love a lot of the ground TFOs, except Bug Hunt. That one can go away forever as far as I'm concerned. But like Brotherhood of the Sword, I love to play that. That's fantastic. There's a lot of awesome ground queues, especially, when we do the Priority 1 Armada live on Saturdays, we go do a lot of those. So it's more fun, I think, for me to do it with fleet mates or Armada members than if you have a group of people that you can, play with, that help. That's what I like about them. But I also like ground. So, I mean, I like to set up my ground builds, and I like to set up, all of that stuff too, in addition to space. So,
I mean, I don't disagree that ground has issues. I mean, I find myself now with my Discovery character, I'm creating a melee style ground build because I just want something interesting. I want something different.
Yeah, I did a knockdown build, and it's awesome. You just knock people over all the time. It's fantastic.
I think what's interesting is that the developers give us choices, but a lot of us tend to just go with what's easiest. Mm-hmm. So is that their fault or is it our fault?
I don't think that...
I don't think it's a fault necessarily. It's just, play to your style. I've got 38 characters. They all kind of have different setups.
Right,
so.
And play to your style, right? That's an excellent point, Kat. She said, play to your style. It's not easier to play space. It's more fun in most cases.
I mean,
space battle in Star Trek Online is more fun than ground. So, look, there are certainly moments in the game where you have to play ground combat in order to, earn X, Y, and Z. I get it. That's fine. Okay, when I have to do that, then I'm going to random up for ground combat only. If there's an endeavor reward or an endeavor goal that I have to meet that requires me to go to ground, then if I'm in the mood that day, then I'm going to random up for just ground combat and get bonus rewards for randoming up in ground. It's funny that people in the chat, that's the go-to, is that then nobody will play ground. Well, I think that's telling, number one. I think that's a big tell for the ground combat in Star Trek Online. That's not good, right? That people will just automatically lean towards space, and that there seems to be this consensus that there's no desire to play ground. I'm not saying I don't want to play ground. I'm saying that if I don't have to, I'm not gonna, because I prefer my pew-pew in space. And I think a lot of us feel that way.
But even in the story missions, like what about the newest missions with Lorca? Those
No,
missions?
I'm not talking about no. Missions are separate because missions tell a story. Ground combat missions are great. Those are super fun. I'm just talking about, TF, the grindy, the grind tasks that have to be done is really what I'm talking about, which are TFOs and Qs and STFs, right? If I have to keep adding to my reputation, right? Like for instance, my discovery reputation. If I have to keep adding to that, preferably, I'm gonna want to do space combat. That's the fun. That's where I find the most fun. If I'm gonna grind, I'm gonna grind out in space. I don't think that, we've talked about Star Trek Online being a very unique MMO, giving players the option to be solo, giving players options to essentially go on their own, right? Do what you want to do. You could go 0 to 60 without talking to another human being. Yeah, okay, I get that. So why not add more to the user experience and expand on this random theory, this theory of incentivizing random play, except incentivize space, incentivize ground, and then incentivize by an additional multiplier if you are the player that doesn't care what you play. You enjoy both. I don't see how that could hurt if you're giving an additional bonus and multiplier for random all.
But I guess my point is that, they already do that. Like, they give you a multiplier for random all.
Yes. So give me, so knock me down a bit so I can play random only space. And I will play all that space content. Give me all that space content.
But why not just queue up for a space mission instead of doing random?
Because therein lies the problem, is that
the bonus rewards.
Well, the bonus reward.
Number one, choosing what you want to do.
Number one is the bonus reward. The incentivization. Is that a word?
Mm-hmm.
One is the incentivization of playing something random, and two is that I won't wait to play an old mission. I don't want to have to. I just, random space. Let me play it. Boom. I will enjoy it.
You can queue up for all the space missions at once.
No, do it for me.
You can do that. You can queue up for all the space at once. You don't get the bonus because you're not randomly queuing. Like, you're not saying,
what do you
just
mean
give
I can
whatever.
select all of them at once? I can select all of the space queues at once, and then the first one that pops will go.
There's not a filter, but you can go through and queue up for anything space. I don't know if you can filter for space or ground, but if you did, you just have to.
Yeah,
you can filter for space. You can filter for ground. Yeah.
You just check them all.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind then. I guess the whole point is moot.
Did I just negate your entire argument right there?
You just negated my entire argument. My whole point was that I want to be able to jump in and play and select all of the space combat and let the system pick whichever space.
You can manually select all space combat.
Do I have to click each one? I have to click each TFO?
It's not a select all.
No, there might be a.
No, I don't think there's a select all.
I'm pretty sure there's a select all. Like, so you filter them. Step one is you filter to space.
Yeah, that I do.
And then I'm pretty sure that there's a check mark that you'd hit it and it queues up for all of them.
I don't think that there is. And you know what? I'm willing to
seriously want to try that right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in right now. I'm logging into the
But
game.
I think I need more wine though. I will be right back.
So I'm gonna log into the game right now, real quick, and double check this. So I'm
Please
sorry
do,
to
because
whoever's
I'm
editing.
pretty sure that that's a thing.
Oh, are we done recording Stone News?
No, we're not done recording.
No, we're in the middle.
Oh
this is
crap.
gonna-
Okay, well, I really need more wine then. Be right back.
You didn't stop recording though, did you? AJ's like, that's what I've been saying in the chat. Although with an Australian accent, because I'm pretty sure AJ's in Australia. I'm logging into the game right meow.
I mean, you know, somebody on Twitch is mentioning that, you know, maybe ground should just be reserved for missions only. I mean, I disagree. I think that there's some really good ground TFOs, and I think that
Are there?
it's just different. It's just different. And you know, somebody said it earlier in chat that it took them a while to get it. You know, and that's you know, you can mindlessly do ground, or you can put in a little bit of work, and then you can make it fun. You can make it something that's enjoyable. And I think that because the game is so space oriented in a majority of the content, that's just easier to go with. It's like, oh, I've got my space build, everything's space. I'll just go this direction. But if you look at the different ground builds and the different things you can do, you can really add some variety to it, but you got to put some work into it. And I think that that's the biggest difference, is that sometimes people just don't want to put the work into it. I mean, I didn't for the longest time, or I just didn't think about it.
Work into what? Hold on. Work into what? Because I don't.
Looking at the different, so the default is, oh, I'm gonna have, you know, this set of rep gear and this weapon because it's the strongest, and I'm just gonna go through ground like this. But that's not the only way to do it. I've seen some science builds that utilize.
Oh shit! You can. Look at that.
Am I right?
First of all,
Yeah.
AJ's right. And then, yeah, look, all right, so this should be our weekly top tip. Dude, I've been playing this game since beta, and I didn't know that
this
you could
was
do this.
in. Just so you know, this ability was in the game before randoms.
What was? What?
I know,
Select
yeah,
all?
yeah. I
being
can
able
see it
to
now.
being able to queue up for all space, like this,
Man.
like this was a
Yeah.
thing.
Now, all right, but here's the thing, though, is that if I wanted to do all, like, either elite or advanced, I would
You
have
go-
to go through each one of
No,
these.
no. Go down to the bottom. See where it says space. Right to the right, there's a check mark
Oh, shit!
for you. Go down there and select your difficulty level.
This is
Holy
awesome.
cow.
I never have done that, so I didn't know.
We're teaching everybody.
Yeah, that's our top tip this week, people.
Yeah, there you go. And then click. There you go. There you go.
Wow.
Problem solved.
Holy yeah, problem solved. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if I got a little bonus reward for, doing
Well,
random.
you don't, because
but-
you're not doing
but-
random.
No, I know. But
You
no,
just
well,
said that you should be incentivized for doing full random, but you're not doing full random.
no, you're not
See,
listening to me.
don't
You're not
get
listening to me.
that
You're not
award.
listening. You're not listening to
Awesome.
me. I said yes. You get 2 times if you do all random, and you only get 1 time if you do random space.
Wait, 1 time's normal though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
1
what
time.
you normally would get. Well, that's
Yes.
what I'm getting.
Like, yeah, but you're adding. I feel like you're adding a bonus reward for no work on your part.
What?
We had to
you're
click
saying,
that one button though.
No, but you're saying I want to play just space, so
Yeah.
I should get extra rewards because jeez.
Whoa, how's that rum treating you?
That rum gone
the
bad.
rum and orange vanilla Coke are really hitting me right now. But you're saying that, I want to play just space, so I should get rewarded for playing just space.
Random just space.
But the thing is that
I don't want to get a bonus
feature.
to just play infected over and
No.
over and over again.
I
I want to play.
I'll be honest with you. I click random all, and I usually get infected space 57% of the time.
Or
yes.
Starbase one.
Right, or Starbase 1. Right,
But-
right.
But I mean, this is like being able to queue up for all space has been in the game for a long time. So why would they all of a sudden incentivize it?
Because it's about the concept of joining random was not to necessarily incentivize reward earning, but to incentivize playing old content for rewards.
Right.
So people who needed, let's say somebody was brand spanking new today and needed to earn Romulan reputation marks or Nukara reputation marks, right? People aren't necessarily playing the shuttle mission on the ground on the shores of the beach. I forget the name of that TFO.
Whoa.
Remember you were in your that's an old one. Yeah, the Alachi one. Remember that one? Nobody's. When was the last time you ever played the Alachi?
In your shuttle?
If there was a shuttle event and you got really good rewards, otherwise no.
My point is that when was the last time you played that Alachi shuttle mission on the beach?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Never.
Where you're flying your shuttle on the planet, attacking the Alachi tentacle monsters.
The walker things in the water?
Yes.
Oh, what is the name of that mission?
But that's exactly my point. That's my point.
When we're done recording tonight, I'm gonna go queue up for that so that I can play that. Because I don't know what that is.
So my point is that there's a lot of old both ground and a lot of old both space content. And heck, if I want to randomize my space play, why not? And if I could get a little bit of a bonus, sure. But now that I know that you can select all the space content and it'll randomly, quote unquote, select which one is up next, great. That's cool.
Well, you'll be added to the first one that fills up. Like that's
right.
Technically how it works with the random.
Right. Well, we've been going at this for a while, so I think we've all learned something today.
Yep.
Is that this 10-year-old game can still surprise even the beta players. You know what, though?
This game is so expansive. It's been around for so long, and it has so much in it that oftentimes even us players that play on a regular basis, we overlook some things sometimes because we just don't. We don't spend enough time in a certain area. I'll be honest with you, the Dyson Sphere missions are brand new to me. I did not play any of that content when it first came out, and I tended to skip over that content as I leveled up characters, and I'm just now able to go back and enjoy those missions for the first time because I've never done them before.
Oh, that's cool. So did you go like to the science lab to meet up with and get that Voth bridge officer, Neelan Exel?
Oh yeah, that guy's cool.
I know, right? I love that story. I love those missions because then it feels like a secret mission and you have to go rescue him. So
well, do we have a community question?
I mean, I did write one.
Right. Well, Captains, that brings us to our community question for Star Trek. Okay. Well, Captains, that brings us to our next community question this week. Would you like to see random TFO split into space and ground and all with varying reward multipliers for each? Let us know in the comments section for this episode at Priority One. Let us know in the comments section for this episode on the brand spanking new PriorityOnePodcast.com or by replying to our social media posts for this episode. Kat, why don't you sweep us up?
That's it for this week in gaming news. Now let's open hailing frequencies and see what's incoming.
All right, everybody hit stop. I'm giving Stone News to Skiffy this week.
Sorry, Skiffy.
Ha! Skiffy is now playing Star Trek Online. that popped up on my Steam.
Deselecting all for space randoms.
I don't know, maybe. All right,
He's
Captains,
like,
it is.
I didn't know you could do that. Let's go. Let me go try that.
I know. Well, Captains, it is now 9:54 p.m. and it is T-minus 5 minutes to mission log live. In that case, we are going to be signing off and recording the rest of the show off air. But
Sorry, bye.
I like
AJ,
AJ's,
AJ, shut up,
AJ's
AJ.
community question.
Shut up,
How
AJ.
wrong was Elio?
Shut up, AJ. Shut up.
How
Shut
dare
up.
you talk to our viewers like that? You're
So-
fired.
So, captains, as we wrap up this episode here on Priority One Podcast, we encourage you to continue on trekking out this Tuesday night with Mission Log Live over at facebook.com/Mission Log Pod. I've put the link there in the show notes. In the meantime, we're going to go off air. We're going to record the rest of the show off air. Then we're going to do after hours. You know what? I think in after hours, I think we should do something, TFO. I think we should try to see what happens when we all queue up a random space. So,
Or random all and get incentive.
or random all and see what happens.
And then listen to Elijah rant about how it's a crowd mission.
So if you haven't already, you should join the Priority One chat in game. What's the chat command?
/channel _join.
Yeah.
Priority
So,
one, all one word.
/channel
Channel
_join. And then is it Priority One Podcast or Priority One?
Priority one.
Priority one.
Okay, Priority One. So if you're going to play Star Trek Online right now, when we go off air,
Right, meow.
go into
Right,
Star
meow.
Trek Online, type in channel _join space, empty space, Priority One, the word. And that'll allow you to join into the Priority One chat channel. And after we finish recording feedback and closing, which we should get through pretty quickly, we're going to go ahead and log into the game and do some TFOs. Join us there, and let's blow some stuff up, shall we?
Or shoot some things on the ground.
Or shoot some things on the ground.
In a ground mission.
Hey.
So, until then, captains, thank you so very much for joining us on this episode of Priority One. We will see you again next week. We've got some announcements for next week with respect to the rest of July, how Las Vegas is going to be affecting Priority One Podcast. And yeah, that's all the information we got. So, say goodnight, everybody.
See ya.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Fly it, print it, display it. Break the mold and 3D print a one-of-a-kind starship. Your starship. With mixed dimensions. Right now, Priority One listeners can save 20% on all ships and sizes. Just use coupon code PRIORITY20. That's PRIORITY20 at checkout. Build your fleet and display it proudly.